Okay, so if you're a really good engineer who's played around with AI coding tools and just walked away feeling frustrated, maybe even a little worried you're getting left behind, this is for you. We're going to break down exactly how to push past that initial wall of annoyance and unlock a totally new way of working.
Does this sound familiar? You know, for so many skilled developers, this is the gut reaction. You try an AI agent, it spits out some code that's buggy or just weird, and you immediately think, you gotta be kidding me. This is just AI slop. I could have done this better and honestly faster myself. And you know what? You're not wrong to feel that way. It's a super common experience.
But there's that nagging feeling, isn't there? That little bit of discomfort in the back of your mind that says, but what if I'm missing something big here? Your subconscious is basically telling you that there's more to the story. And that little feeling, well, that's what we're going to dive into today. It's a sign that there's a gap in your mental model that your brain really wants to close.
And to close that gap, we've got a really clear roadmap. First, we'll put a name to the problem, the engineer's AI dilemma. Then, we'll walk through a three-step solution. It starts with something called restraint, then moves to expanding your skills, and it all leads to what you could call true creative mastery.
So, let's start at the very beginning, the root cause of all that frustration. It's a really common mental block for experts in basically any field, and it has a name, the cognitive fixation trap.
So here's the trap. We are so used to coding a certain way, right? Getting our hands on the keyboard, building solutions from the ground up. So when we approach AI, we treat it like a souped-up search engine. We code until we hit a wall, and then we ask the AI how to solve that one, tiny, specific problem. This keeps us totally locked into our old habits, and it just completely misses the point of what these tools can do.
But here's the good news. You can absolutely break out of that trap. The solution is a proven framework that's designed to fundamentally rewire your workflow. It's all about shifting your mindset from code first to agent first.
And what's really encouraging is how quickly this can happen. You can feel that initial, powerful aha moment in just a couple of days. If you stick with it for about 3 weeks, the entire way you build software can fundamentally change, putting you on a path to ongoing creative mastery.
All right, let's get into the first and honestly the most important step. And just a heads up, this is going to sound completely backwards. It's called learn by restraint, and it's literally like trying to learn a new skill by tying one hand behind your back.
And that brings us to the one single transformative rule for this entire first step. For your whole first project using this method, you are allowed to write exactly 0 lines of code yourself. That's right, none. Not a single character fix. Your only job is to get the AI agent to do all of it.
Now, why on earth would we do this? Well, it's based on a really powerful idea from neuroscience called constraint-induced learning. When you intentionally block the easy, familiar path, in this case just jumping in and writing the code yourself, you force your brain to find brand new ways to solve the problem. You are literally building new neural pathways for an agent-first workflow.
This is what forces the big mindset shift. You stop treating the AI like a glorified search bar where you ask how to do something. Instead, you start treating it like a junior developer on your team. You ask it to do it for you. It seems like a small change in language, but it represents a massive change in your whole approach.
So what should you actually build? Keep it simple. The goal here is learning, not shipping a product. Build a small, disposable web app, because honestly, AI agents are really good at those. Next.js is a great tech choice. And for the topic, pick something you already know well, or just build a simple protein tracker. The key is to take all the pressure off. Now, there's going to be a moment, I can almost guarantee it, where the AI makes a mistake, the app breaks, and you'll throw your hands up and say this exact sentence. See, I knew it. This thing is stupid. This moment right here, this is the real test of your new discipline.
And what you do next is absolutely crucial. Instead of instinctively diving into the code, you have to follow this new debug flow. 1. You get an error. 2. You resist that powerful, almost overwhelming urge to fix it yourself. 3. You copy the entire error message, paste it back to the agent, and just say, fix this. And 4. You just keep repeating that loop until it works. This is how you learn to guide the agent.
So once you've actually built your first app without writing a single line of code, you are ready for step 2. This is where we expand on that new foundation you've built by moving from the cozy graphical interface of your IDE to the command line interface.
This progression is based on a learning concept called knowledge scaffolding. Think of it this way. Your experience in step 1 built the foundation and the first floor. Now you're using that stable structure to build the next level. The command line, the CLI, is the next logical step toward total automation.
And in the command line, you'll start to see these different modes of interaction. You can start in ask mode, where you have all the control and you have to approve every single action. Then you can move to plan mode, which gives you a nice balance, and eventually you can graduate to auto run, where you give the agent a ton of autonomy. This lets you slowly let go of the reins as your trust and your skills get better. The final step is where it all clicks into place. Step 3 is all about achieving a state of creative mastery, where you start to build what you could call a cognitive mesh with your AI tools. A huge part of this is just getting better at prompting. And look, prompt engineering isn't some dark art, it's just clear communication. A fantastic framework is RICE. Give the AI a role, like you are an expert web developer. Give it a clear instruction. Provide lots of rich context. And crucially, tell it how to evaluate its own work, like asking it to write a specific test. Once you get the hang of this, you can start to think way beyond your single desktop. You can use cool techniques like Git worktrees, which lets you have multiple AI agents working on different features of your app at the same time, without them stepping on each other's toes. You can even spin up cloud agents that keep working on your code base long after you've closed your laptop for the day.
And the ultimate goal here is something called cognitive offloading. You're not just delegating tasks anymore, you're actually distributing your mental workload to these agents. And what that does is it frees up your own brain power to focus on the stuff that we humans are best at: high-level architecture, creative problem solving, and big-picture strategic thinking.
The payoff for all this effort is pretty profound. It's a feeling of psychological autonomy, of effortless flow. When automation can extend your reach this much, your ideas can go from your mind to a working prototype almost frictionlessly. Experiments that might have taken days before can now happen in just a few minutes. And that brings us to the final and most important question. This whole 3-step process, it was never about replacing you. It's about augmenting you. So once you've really mastered the ability to offload the how to a team of tireless AI agents, the only limit left is your own imagination. So the question is, what will you choose to build?